Hari ini kita mau ke Beverly Hills Fire Department. Jadi Isa tuh suka banget sama firefighters. Terus ini namanya siapa? Siapa namanya?
What?
Namanya Frank. Jadi Isa suka banget sama firefighters, sama fire department. Terus karena di Amerika ini sering banget kayak firefighters bolak-balik. Jadi dia tuh kayak amazed banget. Dan kebetulan di Beverly Hills ini ada kayak fire department tour gitu. Jadi kita mau datang. And it's free. Kalau udah gede mau jadi apa? Jadi pilot, firefighters atau astronot?
Pakai astronot.
Jadi astronot.
Atau mau terbang ke bumi.
Ini bisa di bumi.
Mau terbang ke
Terbang ke
matahari.
bulan.
Panas sekali dong matahari.
Bulan.
Mau ke bulan.
Iya.
Ke bulan. Solar apa is namanya?
Solstice.
Solar system. Isa ini lagi di cas mobilnya ya is.
Sticker?
Thank you. So you have a lot of cars here.
Yeah, so this is our biggest station. So that's an older engine right there.
Okay.
This is our battalion. So this is our chief here today.
Okay.
Oh, there's no water. So this person's in command if we go on a call. They're
Okay.
in charge
Okay.
of anything we may go on, but it's usually bigger calls, like a fire.
So if we call 911, the firefighter's gonna come too.
Correct, but it depends what you tell them.
Okay.
So if it's a medical call, if there's a medical emergency, then according to whatever you say is what we'll send, our dispatch. So you call and then your call goes to dispatch and then they call us.
Because we see a lot of firefighters coming around, but it
Yeah.
doesn't mean that there's a fire, right?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Majority of our calls are medical.
I
Come on
see.
this way, I'll show you the rigs
Oh,
this way.
isa mo ini.
So these are just pictures of everyone staffed here.
Okay.
They just rotate through. So this is our frontline engine. So there's an engine and a truck. I'll show you the truck next. The truck is a bigger one with the ladder on top. I don't know if you're familiar with that one.
Yeah.
I'll show you next. But this one carries our hose and water.
Okay.
So it's a 4-person engine.
How many people you can carry inside the truck?
Four.
Four.
There's 6 seats, but there's only 4 personnel that go.
Wow.
There's each position. So we have our engineer, our captain, and then 2 firefighters, 1 medic.
Wow. Gede banget ya is. That's so big.
Yeah. You wanna go inside?
You wanna see?
No? You can go.
Mau coba drive?
Usually his age, they either want to go or they don't want to go at all.
But
Yes.
he'll be talking about this at home.
Yeah, that's how it goes. You guys can take a picture here
Oh,
if you'd like.
take a picture here.
So over there, they're working on one of our trucks. So that's our frontline truck.
Yeah.
See the ladder on top?
Yeah.
They're just working on it. So for now, we use our reserve over here on the left.
Okay.
So until that's fixed, and we just swap everything over.
How many trucks do you have in a?
We have 2. So frontline and a reserve. You want to go inside?
Whoa.
Try again. No? Yeah, so our equipment goes here. This is our gear. And then usually you have this is your SCBA. So it's for air if you're going into a fire.
Jadi ini buat barang-barang yang dia bawa, ini kayak bajunya, terus ini kayak oksigen tanknya buat mereka masuk ke dalam apinya. You have axe too.
Yeah, right there. That wooden handle.
Okay.
That's our axe.
Ini ladder, bisa naik ke atas is.
Yeah, the ladder. So everyone that comes, not everybody, but a lot of people that show up, they're from different countries or different fire departments, and they'll bring a patch.
So cool.
They like to do a lot of trades if they're from different countries.
Wow.
So one over here. So this is where we keep our equipment. So every compartment has different equipment. This is what we use for any auto extrication. So if someone's trapped in a vehicle after a traffic accident, then we pull these out.
Oh, this is for cutting
The cars.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
On the front line, we have battery operated ones.
Okay.
So,
This is the driver.
so that's the tillerman.
Okay.
But yes, he drives the back portion. Yeah, we need someone there and then someone up front
Okay.
just to maneuver the whole. It's like a trailer almost. Keep ladders here.
Oh, tangga lagi is di belakang, guys.
So let's see. Let's come all the way out.
How high is the ladder? Like,
So
how
we have
many
different
floors?
lengths.
Okay.
They range from anywhere from 16 feet, 35 feet. Yeah, we have extension ladders. So this is just a single ladder. You guys want to see the ambulance?
Yes.
Yeah, right this way.
The Alice is Alice the ambulance.
What's that?
He called ambulance Alice.
Oh, Alice. That works.
So this is ambulance?
Yeah, so these are ambulances. So we have this one and this one.
Oh, paramedics. Wow.
So any medical calls, usually when you hear the sirens, you probably see an engine, which is the first one we saw, and a rescue ambulance. This is where we put the patients in. I'll show you the back. It's a little tight, but you can check it out.
Jadi kalau telepon 911, kalau misalkan kita bilang kita ada medical emergency, yang datang mobil ini, terus ini dalamnya. Ini first time aku lihat dalamnya. And what is this?
This is a trailer. We
Trailer.
do some special events.
Oh, okay.
Like for example, hot dogs,
That's so cool.
and we'll roast some hot dogs on there.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So that's how you go down?
Yeah, so the pole, we do use that. There's a door up there. Just open the door and then
Only in emergency.
every call.
Every call.
Because we're coming from upstairs, so the fastest way to come down is the pole. So we have two, one here and one on the other end.
Ya, nanti kalau ada orang turun.
Extra cushion.
Wow. Bisa naik ya? When the firefighters come, what should we do with our car?
If you're driving, so the best thing to do, if you can get out of the way, go to your right. So steer to your right and then stop.
And then stop.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you can't, like you're stuck, don't go left because usually that's the route that we take. We go left to the left of you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So always go to the right.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
And if you see the engine or whoever coming and there's enough space, just stay where you're at. So
But
either stop completely or go to your right.
I see.
Yeah. It's dependent on traffic and all that because it's LA, it's very busy here. So, but yeah, in general, go to your right.
Yang model ini dia bisa apa? Goyang-goyang, terus dia bisa white noise, jadi bisa shh, gitu. Terus ada ininya, baby sleep side-nya. Dalam sleep side-nya juga ada breathing monitornya, jadi nanti dari aplikasi kelihatan kayak nafasnya.
Iya, ini sewanya kita 3 bulan. Karena insya Allah kan kita pulang saat dia usia 3 bulan.
Love changes every heart, and any heart can change you.
Oke, ini baby clip sudah selesai. Sekarang aku mau tunggu midwife aku untuk datang.
38 weeks, right? Today.
I think so, right?
Yeah. 38 weeks, one day.
How are you feeling?
I'm getting heavier, of course, and it's I'm experiencing like a lot of cramping at night. So a lot of waking up in the middle of the night.
It's very normal for a second pregnancy. I think we kind of touched on it a little bit last time.
Yeah.
Usually with your first pregnancy, you're more comfortable towards the end. Second pregnancy, you feel a lot more stretching, a lot more discomfort, like low belly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty normal. Have you been trying to take baths at night?
Yeah,
Yeah, does it help at all?
a little bit.
Do you take magnesium at night? Okay.
Otherwise, I cannot sleep at all.
Really?
Like it's so hard getting awake all the time, but magnesium really helps me to sleep.
Okay, good. I mean, at this point, it's just like you can do. You're doing everything you should be doing, right? You're taking a bath, you're stretching, you go for walks, you take the magnesium. It's a matter of growth at this point.
Yeah.
Everything is vying for space down there. The baby's trying to get lower, and it's just your body's trying to accommodate. So you're gonna feel a lot of sensation.
Oke, ini good question. Kapan ya aku menemukan sosok Abby Vidiken? Jadi pada saat aku memutuskan untuk home birth, belum kasih tahu Indra. Terus aku search di Google kayak searchnya the best midwife in LA. Habis itu keluarlah beberapa nama dan dari semua nama itu yang paling good review tuh Abby. Maksudnya nggak ada satu orang pun yang memberi dia bintang kurang dari 5 gitu. Jadi semuanya review-reviewnya tuh kasih bintang 5. Ya udah aku buka websitenya, aku buka Instagramnya, aku stalk Instagramnya, YouTube-nya dan lain-lain segala macam. Aku beraniin email. Bulan April kita lagi di Singapura, kita kira Zoom call sama Abby. Karena aku bilang aku sama suami aku kepikiran untuk home birth, cuma kita nggak tahu home birth tuh kayak gimana. Terus dia jelasin A sampai Z. Akhirnya kita sampai LA tuh bulan September, jadi dari April sampai September kita tuh non-stop email-emailan terus aku sama Abby. September kita sampai seminggu di LA, dia datang ke rumah, akhirnya kita ketemu, kita ngobrol. Udah dari situ kita ketemu setiap 1 bulan sekali, lama-lama seminggu sekali.
Know if she's going to the bathroom?
No, but I go to bathroom like every 5 minutes, a lot.
When the baby gets lower, you could breathe better, like take deeper breaths. But then the baby is so on your bladder that there's just no space.
Okay, I'm just afraid my fluid's gonna be gone
Why?
because I pee a lot.
Your pee has one, it means that you're hydrated, right?
Yeah.
Because if you were dehydrated, you wouldn't be peeing. But amniotic fluid is made by your hydration levels. It's also made by your baby's pee. So as long as you're eating and he is getting nourishment, then he pees, and that's what makes your amniotic fluid.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean if I pee a lot, my fluid's gonna be okay.
But there's other ways, like if someone's levels are on the lower side and they're at the end of pregnancy, if they just start hydrating, like taking lots of fluid, lots of electrolytes, coconut water, everything, a lot of times that bounces up the fluid levels. So when I have clients and it shows like they're slightly lower, I also say to them, get an ultrasound in the afternoon.
Okay.
Because we're all lower in fluid in the morning. You're sleeping all night, you're not drinking as much. So fluid levels can change from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon just based on someone drinking throughout the day.
Okay.
Yeah. Any headaches?
No.
Thank God. No swelling. You
No
look great.
swelling.
Your face, from here up, you don't look pregnant.
Really? Thank you.
Still chiseled jaw. No nausea or vomiting?
No. So how do you support women who wish to have unmedicated birth or home birth?
Well, so I only work in the home environment. So because we're home and we don't go to the hospital, we don't have access to drugs. So all the births that I attend outside of a hospital are always going to be unmedicated. But most importantly, throughout pregnancy, one of the things that I strive to do as a midwife is make time for my clients. So every appointment is 45 minutes to an hour long, so that over the course of her pregnancy, we can prepare her mentally and physically and spiritually for what labor and birth is going to look like. So most of what I do is really empowering my clients with knowledge and with tools and with resources, whether it's, giving them doula recommendations or childbirth education recommendations, but also just talking them through the things that they might be afraid of that could kind of create those mental blocks in labor. And we work through them so that they know that they have everything they need inside of them to get through a birth unmedicated. Because at home, that's really our only option.
So what you can do and what you cannot do as a midwife in the United States?
Yeah, so it's actually, here in the US, it's regulated differently from state to state.
Yeah.
So in California, we can do almost anything. We can administer medications if we have to, IV fluids, antibiotics. We obviously just can't do anything that requires a hospital. So like we can't do C-sections. That is always in the realm of the doctor. But the other thing, California prevents us from doing any birth that happens before 37 weeks or after 42. We can't do twins or breech babies when the baby's coming butt first.
Wow.
But outside of that, our scope of practice really, entails all things that are related to normal pregnancy and birth.
Have you birthed twins baby at home?
Yeah. So
At home?
Yeah. So you can do it here at home if you have a doctor in attendance. So when I was a student, and then also a few times afterwards, I trained under a doctor who does home births for twins. And then I've had a few clients over the years that found out that they were pregnant with twins. And so I've assisted in their care alongside a doctor and then been at their home births with that doctor.
Wow.
I have someone in my care right now who's pregnant with twins.
Wow. And what if your patient is having a breech pregnancy?
So same thing. There are doctors that will assist with that, and in some cases they will do it at home. We also have doctors in hospital that thankfully will also help in those situations. So at this point I've probably done or been to about 14 breech births.
Wow.
I had a client 3.5 months ago have a breech baby, 9.5 pounds.
What?
In
Breech itu sungsang.
2 hours and 46 minutes of labor. That's it, like that.
3 hours?
3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. There's some of when everything is ideal and right, it's some of the easiest births I've ever attended, or breech births. Yeah, but because we can't do them alone, if we know a baby is breech, or if I know a baby's breech at 30, 32 weeks, I'm starting to tell them to do things to get the baby turned.
Okay.
So like chiropractic care, acupuncture. Chiropractic, it loosens all the muscles and the ligaments to help a baby have space to turn. So they don't like turn the baby, but they create the space. So like Dr. Berlin, who you've been seeing, he's wonderful at that. He's been known to turn babies up until 38 weeks.
Wow.
Acupuncture, there's positions women can do to help kind of rotate the baby. So we try to get ahead of it so we're not at the end of pregnancy and the baby is still breech.
So there's a lot of things you do when your baby is breeching. Wow. Not a C-section.
It's always an option because not everyone is comfortable delivering a baby breech. So sometimes the women will choose to go in for a C-section.
Okay.
Sometimes the babies are stubborn too.
Yeah.
They just, 42 weeks and they don't want to come, so then they come by C-section.
I see. Why did you choose a midwife path in your life?
So, it's a funny question. So it kind of chose me in a lot of ways. I had a completely different plan for my life. I went to college and I wanted to go into politics, and that was like my goal.
That's
so
so
I studied,
different.
yeah, very different. I studied politics, I moved to Washington, D.C., and I was working in politics for a couple of years before I got pregnant with my son. And my aunt has been a midwife for 25 years. So I had experienced when I was in college, I would go to her office and I would see her interactions with her clients.
Yeah.
And I would think, wow, this is such a special kind of care. Like, it's really such a beautiful thing, the relationship that they develop. And so I knew when I got pregnant that I would have a midwife. And so now I'm pregnant with my son, and so I met, with a group of midwives in Washington, D.C., and something about the course of care and like the level of relationship that I built and how much I just enjoyed the process. I was 36 weeks pregnant, and I called my aunt and I said, I'm going to go to midwifery school. And I decided that I was going to shift and pivot like my whole life. Everything I had worked towards, everything I dreamed of, I had, but it didn't feel right. And so I shifted everything. And then when my son was 1.5 years old, I signed up for midwifery school. And I have never for 1 second doubted that decision.
Wow. So you delivered 3 of your babies with midwife. Okay.
All 3 of them. But yeah, I've never looked back and gone, that life would have been better for me. This is exactly where I'm supposed to be. I just took the long road.
How many births have you done?
Just over 500. So as a student,
Wow.
As a student, I attended 120.
Yeah.
And then since then, I worked at a birth center for a few years, and birth centers are very high volume.
Okay.
So we were doing, 6, 7, 8 births a month sometimes. And then since then, I average about 4 to 6 a month. So it's just,
Wow.
when you find where you're supposed to be in life, it doesn't feel overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like it is. It's
This
life.
is your passion that you love doing it.
It's just my life. It's just my everyday life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's what I do. And so day to day, if I have 0 births in a week or if I have 5 births in a week, it doesn't drain me. It fulfills me.
What if you're having a dinner with your family and then someone call you,
They know.
and then you're gonna leave?
Yeah. Those aren't even, I would say the hardest things are like my kids' birthdays.
No way.
Yeah. Thank God, it's never really happened where I've been gone a whole birthday.
Yeah.
But those are always like where I'm like, please,
Yes,
don't go
yes.
into labor.
Wow. Because birth is always unpredictable, right?
Yeah. Like even yesterday, if someone had called me and I missed Thanksgiving dinner, it would have been fine. But like, not my kids' birthdays. I just want to be there in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bersama Abby, bidan aku tuh dia nggak komersial gitu loh. Dia benar-benar memberikan apa yang aku butuhkan. Jadi pendekatannya tuh lebih personal, nggak komersial, dan benar-benar apa yang aku butuhkan. Kalau misalkan yang nggak aku butuhkan, dia memang kayak dia bilang kalau dari saya sih nggak perlu gitu. Cuma kalau misalkan kamu mau, ya go for it gitu. Dan dia benar-benar selalu minta izin sebelum dia memegang tubuh aku. Dia selalu minta izin sebelum dia melakukan apapun pada tubuh aku. Kayak misalkan contohnya kayak cervical check gitu. Udah berapa pembukaan berapa gitu. Itu kan berarti dia memegang tubuh aku, dia mau melakukan sesuatu pada tubuh aku kan. Dia bilang kalau kamu gak minta aku untuk melakukan hal itu, aku gak akan lakukan hal itu. Jadi seperti yang aku sudah jelasin kemarin di video yang sebelumnya, pada saat persalinan aku gak tahu aku pembukaan berapa karena memang aku gak minta untuk dicek aku pembukaan berapa. Gitu. Jadi hal-hal kecil seperti itu yang membuat aku merasa sangat-sangat dihargai sebagai ibu yang hamil dan melahirkan. Dan membuat koneksi kita tuh antara bidan dan pasiennya tuh erat banget, seperti keluarga ya rasanya. Karena regulasi midwife di setiap tempat kan beda-beda ya. Jadi di California tuh kalau mau jadi licensed midwife memang sudah act jadi kayak dokter ya.
Kayak dokter ya.
Gitu.
Kayak dia pun tahu segala macam.
Terus dia bisa prescribe obat dan lain-lain. Jadi di sini tuh kalau misalnya kita sakit, dokter tuh biasanya prescribe obat kita ke apotek terdekat rumah kita. Jadi kita tinggal ambil aja kalau misalkan apotek itu udah telepon gitu. Dan aku pikir cuma dokter doang yang bisa melakukan hal itu. Cuma ternyata licensed midwife pun bisa melakukan hal itu. Hai everyone, mulai dari episode hari ini dan beberapa episode ke depan.
Ke depan beberapa episode.
Hai everyone, mulai dari episode kali ini dan beberapa episode ke depan gitu ya. Oke.
Kagetnya gimana?
Aduh ya, kaget juga gak?
Kaget?
Kenapa?
Kan tiba-tiba datang yang nggak assalamualaikum, Cah. Tiba-tiba datang, aja kaget nggak? Kaget nggak? Tiba-tiba datang gitu ya? Tiba-tiba datang kayak dar. Apa?
Kamu mau naik juga? Ya udah kamu juga.
Ini kalau stuck sih.
Kalau stuck kita nggak tolongin sih.
Sekarang kita mau surprisein Mami karena sekarang udah mau tanggal 10 Februari. Mami ulang tahun yang ke 50.
5.
Masa sih? 54.
50 100. Kan 70. Sekarang 2025.
Emang berapa?
Ya gimana? 50 100.
55.
Ya kan lahir tahun 70. Ya udah jadi kan 25 sekarang tahunnya.
Oh iya.
Ya, parah.
Jadi kalau kita lagi nitipin Nael di kamar Mami, kita nggak search banyak.
Ketawa.
Nyanyinya pelan-pelan banget ya. Nggak diam banget. Make a wish.
Thank you.
Belum make a wish.
Oh, make a wish.
Apa harapan Mami di tahun 55 ini?
Tahun 55, semoga menjadi ibu yang baik, menjadi orang yang baik, anak yang baik, mertua yang baik, semua jadi yang baik, lebih baik.
Nenek yang baik.
Pasti nenek yang baik dong.
Asmat.
Terima kasih.
Selamat ulang tahun.
Terima kasih Iki.
Jom lagi Newa. 1, 2, 3. Ciao, lihat ni. Lihat apa nih.